Hi traders, how are you? Vladimir Ribakov here from Traders Academy Club, and welcome, official welcome to 2018. I've been away for a while, took some time during the end of the year holidays, got my family for a perfect vacation, and we had a great time, and now it's time to come back and rock for 2018. The way I see that, the market is providing some unbelievable maybe, or well, yeah, believable, definitely. Some amazing technical setups, some amazing opportunities. Plus, we have a new market which might bring new opportunities to investors, to traders, and chances to be involved on the very beginning of the revolution, the digital revolution. Now I'm talking, of course, about the cryptocurrencies, which I will cover here as well. So welcome once again to 2019. This is an annual forecast and review for the year of 2018. 2017 was an amazing year. We had some moves which simply were stunning, went fantastic, follow the setups by the book, and I would like to go over the market today. So I hope you have your focus. I hope you missed the analysis and the trading setups I'm sharing with you, and I hope that you have your energies to rock in 2018 and that you had a good time during your own holidays. So we start with the market I love the most, and the market that has been my favorite for over a decade now. I hope it will last forever, but who knows, maybe cryptocurrencies will take this place in the future. But as for now, I'm talking of course about Forex. From my point of view, my personal point of view, the best market exists. The safest market exists, and simply the best market to be involved with, for one reason. This market is always between economies. This is the biggest market on earth, fact, and doesn't matter how we turn it around, Forex always has been the most massive market in terms of opportunities, and if you know to deal with that, this is the place to get your financial success and financial growth in the way you want. Of course, it takes time to learn how to deal with that, but once you do that, this is the safest market to be involved with. Despite of everything everyone tells you, this is the riskier market. It's a big BS, sorry for the word, of course. The reality is completely different. The reality is that this is the safest market. If you don't use the crazy leverage this market allows, and if you know to respect your risk and reward plan and management. If you do, this is the safest market. Now remember, it's not the market that is problematic. This is you, the trader, us, that are the problematic, that create these bubbles, that expect unrealistic numbers. And the way we learn to put it aside, we suddenly discover that it's better to grow slow than try to grow fast and simply go and blast. So let's start with the euro dollar. As you can see on the chart, I think that the euro dollar is running out of the steam, and I would explain that very easily. The euro dollar suggests here this double cycle. It was double cycle based on a monthly cycle. On a monthly time frame, it was a beautiful bullish divergence here. Now we are running back to this trend line. We are running to the massive resistance area here, surrounding the 124, 125, and I expect that to start and make a push down. I don't think we are going for new lows, but who knows in our reality. But I definitely think that on the coming few months, let's say on the first half of the year, I would expect the euro to start and lose its forces. I do expect it to happen maybe by the end of January, somewhere around February, and last for several months. probably to the end, to the middle of the year. And the way I see that, as those of you who follow me on my annual analysis, this is what I normally am looking at, and that's pretty much the whole art of trading. The balances. Once we are above the balance zone is the, let's say, the middle of the historical high, historical low. Once we're above the balance, we should be looking for possible tops to be called. Once we are below the balance, and the balance is the middle, right here, we should be looking for buy opportunities. And that's the whole art here. If you know to operate inside all this big picture, your trading should be basically very easy. So we are running closer and closer to right to the balance zone, and I would expect that to create, as I said, some sort of a stop. We can see that we are building here some kind of a special cycle right here, and this is the place where I expect it to start and go lower. How low could it go? It could take us even back to 115, I would say. Now the daily chart also starts to build some kind of a triple cycle here, following beautifully all this together. So as I said, the zone of 124, 125, the closer we get there, we should be looking for possible sell opportunities. So the way I see that going this year is something like that. This would probably be the 2018. Pound dollar is running it beautifully bullish, and also coming to some place where it starts to be critical. Why? Because if we have this entire movement, then we can expect the pound dollar to take us towards 140, then 146. Now the 140 is the first critical zone of the big double cycle, and it's right here. On a view of the correction, we have something like that going here, and I would expect the 140 to be the first stop of this pair. Of course, the 140 is the zone. It doesn't mean we are going exactly to 140. We could play around a bit lower, a bit higher, but this is the zone where I expect some stop. Daily cycle is corresponding beautifully to the current developments, and we have this level, and we have the 161.8 right on the 140 zone. So once we get closer, we are going probably see the corrections. Until then, I still think we are going to face some kind of rallies, where from we're going to face some kind of corrections, and then rallies, most likely rallies again. If we take the principle of the middle, right, the balance zone, then according to that theory, we should be facing only rallies on the next several years. So basically every short term corrections we're gonna face, we should be looking for the future again for further buy opportunities. So that's my view for the pound dollar, and of course the middle man in between, the euro versus the pound. Well, this one is a bit tricky, but I think the chances here are much to the bearish side rather than to the bullish side. I would expect that to do something like that and take us back to 0.80, 150. So for me, every rally, it could be down up to here, or maybe try to spike through a new high. We should be facing then new sell opportunities. Every rally is a sell. I would expect it to start and aim the 0.80, 150. Again, the principle of the middle, we take this zone, and well, basically my target is pretty much around the middle, right? So that's for the euro versus the pound. Another great opportunity from my point of view. Dollar yen, I expect this pair to provide some kind of bearish continuation as long as we hold these critical tops. As long as we are holding, and we are holding below these tops, I think this pair could go all the way further down, and alternatively breaking above these tops, and we could start to see the pair rallying further, maybe even for completely new highs. So basically what we have right here is very critical. If we go above that and we hold above the 114, 115, we can see the pair going up, maybe even for completely new highs, something like the 125. But my view remains as for now bearish, and I suspect this pair to go, and let me try to put the levels for you guys right here. Okay, you see this critical zone right here, right? And this is where I would suspect this pair to go down to 104, down to 100, maybe even all the way further to below 100 before anything else. And all that is as long as the 114, 115 holds. Break above that and we're going up. Now, why is it happening the way it does right now? Simply because if we take the theory of the middle, we are now right around the middle. And this is why it behaves this way. And that's all, basically. Dollar versus the Canadian, another interesting pair from my point of view. Another one sitting on the middle right here, as you can see, right, dancing back and forth around the 130. I think that this, what did I do? Sorry. Just want to remove this. I think that this pair provides us some nice sell opportunity, basically. And I would believe that this pair could take us back to 116 zone or so before with some good chances the next rally to start and happen. So from my point of view, if we can get this magnets areas, right, this would be our first critical zone, the 118, 116 area. Next one could be around the 112. Next one could be around 105. But these are the zones I would be definitely looking for possible rallies to start and happen from. So dollar CAD, the lower it goes, the better the next buys should be for us in this pair. And that's all, basically. Let's continue, guys, for the Aussie versus the dollar, a pair that I think has more to the upside. The reason I think so is this double cycle on the monthly chart, which should take us towards the 084, which is the 38 level correction, maybe then all the way to 088. It was bouncing very beautifully from the monthly trend line and holding it by far. It looks correct to me. If we manage to go there, it would be perfect to start looking for some possible sells. But as long as it holds this trend line and the divergences, I will be looking for the buys. Breaking below the lows on the trend lines could be a signs of sells. But again, if we apply there are many pairs that are right on the middle, which means they might be not the main focus this year. But still, this pair has a bit higher zones, which I would expect. And all that is as long as the trend line actually holds. And New Zealandian dollar as well, I would expect it to rally and finish its own rally. It has this range. So the way I see that, we are going to finish the rally right here. Or we're going to spike one more time and then this pair most likely will turn to be bearish. The way I see that, we should be facing some bearish experience by the second part of the year. During the year, I wouldn't say the second part, but during the year. So every rally here should be a sell opportunity. I suspect this pair to go lower, and I would not be surprised if we're going back to 0.65 zone, which should be pretty much the middle. So that's for the New Zealandian dollar, which is another great opportunity. Aussie versus the Kiwi, from my point of view, wonderful opportunity. As long as it holds this low, we can see we have some monster to the middle, which is around 120. And from my point of view, this is the range we currently face, right? So we are right on the middle right now, which could be great buy opportunity. or if we spike through again, we should be only for buy the dips. And for me, this pair is very bullish, as while it goes lower, we should be facing and looking for possible buy opportunities. How low could that go? If we take a look here on this cycle, it was bouncing directly from the 50%. Break above this trend line, creating new highs should be a great opportunity to start taking that very seriously to the upside. And could that return and go a bit lower to clean some levels? Definitely yes, but again, as I said, for me it will be only for further buys. Okay, let's continue, guys, for some of the crosses. Euro yen is a very nice opportunity, and I suspect this pair to start and create for us some good bearish run. The reason is that we cannot really rely on the middle theory here, because we are on the middle, which means expect the fight between the bulls and the bears, the way we see it right now. If we go to the weekly chart, we can see that we are right here facing the 161.8 zone, which is 140 zone. Again, surrounding, right? We have a monster bearish divergence here and a daily cycle providing us triple cycle, which means Euro Yen is most likely running out of the steam. It could create a crash any moment from here, or from further closer to 140, could be 138 up to 140 or so. Okay, it could be a bit higher even, but we are for a bearish run most likely from there. Sorry. So that's for the euro versus the yen. Pound versus the yen, another interesting opportunity from my point of view. If we observe the monthly chart and we are looking for the middle zone of this critical place, we are approaching the 190, 188, 190, which is definitely doable, right? But as for now, it sounds a bit critical, which still on the coming future should put a bullish pressure on the pair. The way it looks on the weekly chart, we had a special cycle down, which is now affected by a double cycle correction. So we are going for one more push lower from here and then a fly, or going to continue that slightly higher and then create much deeper correction. So the way I see that, this is what we should be facing. If we put the Fibonacci's retracements right here, we are on a critical zone of 38. If it's continuing to push higher, we are going to 160, which is critical zone. If we put this cycle on as a correction, we will discover some amazing opportunity that this is a great magnet zone, combining the retracement and the expansion together on the same place. Then we have the 160. So I suspect the pound yen, start the down move right from here, or push it to 160 and then make a deep correction down for something like 1 up to 2000 pips movement. Next one I have on my list is the dollar franc. Isn't really interesting opportunity, but CAD franc looks like a great opportunity from my point of view. The reason I love CAD franc is basically because it also applies the principle of the middle, and the middle here is much higher, so every drop we should be looking for the possible buy opportunities on the coming year or years. The way it looks right now currently, that we had this triple cycle and it's a bit ranging here, right? Where is it? Here. Sorry, here. We had these cycles here, right? We had kind of a correction here, which is ranging. So it could take us to 1, 2, and a fly to the rally, or hold this range and turn around for buys. From my point of view, in this pair, we have some critical levels. One of them is the bottom of the range of 0.77. Next one is 0.75. The next one is 0.73, which I expect the pair to bounce from and provide some serious opportunities. So that's another one I have on my list, which looks great. Euro franc still holding its bullish, and ironically going back to 120, the same level that the Swiss bank was holding, right? Ironically, I said because they were so much fighting officially to hold the 120. They released that. We all remember what happened on January 2015, right here, when they released this barrier. And 3 years after, like nothing happened, we are back to the same place. 120 should be critical zone from my point of view. The closer we get there, the stronger the effect I suspect this one will have. Maybe this year, maybe not, but I think that the Swiss bank will not be able to hold the negative rates so long for no one. Simply. And especially not for the Eurozone, which kind of losing it in terms of reliability, I would say, despite of all the fights they do, still it is not the same, and it will most likely not be the same any longer. Too much money got involved. The way I see that the governments and the countries are relying too much on the extra money, the help money. Question is when is round 2? It might happen. Not sure it's going to happen this year, but the way I see it, it should happen. So the Euro franc, the zone of 120-ish, should be a great sell opportunity, and I think we are going back to 115, maybe even 110 again. Okay, let's continue. Well, this pair isn't really interesting in terms of opportunities. Where is my next one? No, that's not a one on the list. No, actually, that's all. From the main and the majors of the Forex, we covered them all. Now, there are many other opportunities like the crosses versus the Pacifics, Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi, Pound Aussie, Pound CAD, etc. Which, the way they perform right now, I prefer to deal with them more on the shorter term. I wouldn't say there is something too clear. The only one that might be very interesting is the Pound Kiwi, which I think could be a great buy opportunities after the dips. So every dip down we have could provide a crazy run to the upside, simply because of the triple cycle we had on the weekly and the massive possible target that we could go to 270. I'm talking about on the next several years. So that's the only one I would be dealing with heavy buys, most likely. Every drop I would be starting looking for the buys there. As per some exotics, dollar versus the ILS, which is the Israeli shekel currency. I think this is a very nice opportunity in terms of investments. Look where it might get us going, guys. This was the first move. A holding by a triangle seems like breaking the zone of 320, 310, maybe even slightly lower. If we can get it there, it could simply be 1, 2, 3. It could simply be unbelievable buy opportunity, and this is one I would suggest you to have on the list. If you can get closer to the 320, 310 zone, get ready for some possible massive buys, and I'm talking about something like 4,000 or more pips opportunities. So this is a one to follow. Now let's discuss about the gold and the silver. What's going on with this? Now I know everyone is bullish on these two, so am I, but we do need to pay attention for some critical conditions and situations here, guys. And I'm talking about the special or triple that could simply get affected by this double and make one more push lower despite of all the views before it flies for new highs completely. Currently, I remain bullish without any doubts, as long as the trend line holds and as long as our targets are still in play. I expected to retest the 38.2, which is 1370 zone. I expected to go towards the 1480 or so, but the higher we go, the stronger the pressure would be to the sell, and I think if we manage to go towards 1470, we might start facing sell opportunity. Meanwhile, as long as this is the form and we have higher lows, higher highs creating, for me it is buy, which could last through the year, and who knows how long it could last, right? So while this happens and we don't have false breaks or lower highs, lower lows combinations on the weekly charts, this remains bullish and the chances to earn here are big. Same said about the silver, which is by far holding this range, and I think we are going exactly to the top of the range. Later on, according to my principle of the middle, I suspect the silver, sorry, I suspect the silver to be able to take us towards the 127 area. So for me, it is bullish, exactly like gold, as long as we don't have any suspicious patterns like false breaks or lower highs, lower lows on the weekly. Until then, and as long as this range holds, silver is bullish from my point of view. Oil is approaching to the targets. Targets of what? Targets of this special cycle. It was amazingly built. 38.2 around the level of 60 was tested. That was a level we have been dealing with in the Traders Academy Club during the year. We were bullish right from here. This was the area of ours. We were bullish there all the way to 60. It is yet bullish. I suspect it to be able to reach the 70, where from I think the bears will start to talk again. According to the middle principle, our middle is basically slightly higher, around the zone of 80, and the way it behaves right now, it looks like a potential double cycle correction, which might end, and 70 could be the first place, 80 could be the next place. Meanwhile, it has no bearish signs, so buy retraces could be a great opportunity, taking it towards 70 or 80 during the year. Indices going for new highs. There are expectations. Well, first thing I would like to say, I was looking a few times during this year of 2017 for sell opportunities. Some of them paid short target, some of them lost, some of them closed break even. None of them was able to provide a reversal. Myself and so many others were looking at. That was clearly wrong, because the bulls are still here and they control. As for now, there is nothing bearish in terms of false breaks and turnarounds, but when the euphoria is back, and when everyone starts talking around like, you know what, this is going to be the most bullish year, it's time to be careful. I don't think that there is something bearish already happening there. It might be bullish the entire year, but look at that. This is an extreme on a monthly chart, and I'm talking about Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P, and we can keep going and going, and everyone would be pretty much around the same zone. It starts to be dangerous. No, it doesn't mean we already have the signs for sells, but we definitely have to be aware of the sensitivity and the levels. Look at that. This is a skyrocket. Normally, skyrockets outperform later on, and you can see yourself how critical these levels are. I'm talking about extreme on the monthlies, not daily, not weekly, monthlies. We are going too far. Currently, it doesn't have any bearish signs, but therefore I don't have any bearish expectation, because the divergence we had during the year, on the beginning of the year, was basically gone, and it was broken. This was the divergence that was developed, and after holding it for a while, boom, broke. and continue all the way to new highs. This is time to be, it is still bullish, let's admit it. And I myself will never get involved in a bullish market like that when it's going completely against all the logics, all the realistic numbers, I would say. I might be wrong, I might miss the opportunity like it happened to me this year in terms of the bullish view, but I prefer to be wrong rather than to be in and regret. So I prefer always to go small risks and look for my big opportunities to come. It doesn't have to come right away, and as for now it is yet bullish, but be aware of the situations when everyone starts to become bullish. It starts to be risky, exactly because of that. On 2017, a lot of traders, including myself, were talking bearish expectations, and instead of that we got a rally. Now the situation starts to look like a bit different, and while everyone expected to be bullish around, it is yet bullish, but be careful. And one to show that mainly is the German DAX. Look at that. This is classical conditions for a monster. We are next to 161.8 here of the monthly chart, yeah? And we have this triple cycle. It starts to be stunning, and I would expect that to be a massive call. Now, we did have one false break on this place. If we have one more false break, that could simply be unbelievable, amazing opportunity. Keep an eye on this one, guys. Keep an eye on all the indices. They should be, well, very interesting. And one of the most interesting buy opportunities for the long term from my point of view in terms of commodities is the natural gas. According to the middle of this one, we are aiming back to 9 or 10 or at least 7, I would say. The price now is so cheap and provides unbelievably amazing opportunity for investment. Look at that. The way it looks for me, with the false breaks on the bottom, with the triple cycle up, double cycle down correction on the weekly chart, it simply looks stunning. And if we break above these highs and we start to create higher highs, I think natural gas is one of the most interesting opportunities to invest in. I'm not talking about the short-term targets. I'm talking about long-term targets, which could be something like 7, 8, 9 or higher. So, yeah, we have much more instruments, of course. It's impossible to cover all the instruments in once. That was the Forex, that was the indices and the commodities. I would like to go over the, well, maybe the most exciting markets currently. I'm talking about the cryptocurrencies, guys. Let's admit a fact. There is a chance that we are in front of a new revolution. Now, it started long years ago, right? But only now we start to see the impact it has on the markets. More and more institutions and instruments coming inside. Companies will release tokens and digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, into the world of ours, simply because it will be cheaper, simpler, faster, more efficient, and safer than many others like stocks and so on. There will be changes, there will be regulations, there will be laws, there will be whatever it is, but the bottom line is the digital world of currencies could not be controlled by an institution. And that's what everyone is afraid of. Try to avoid, try to everything. Society and well, all the people, right, are much stronger than any other government at the end of the day. Economies are us. The financial condition situations are us. No country could exist without its people. We run the economy. We run the entire world of the finance. Yes, it is controlled by the biggest institutions, but without us, without the force of our money, it means zero and it means nothing. And that's why I think that this is the future. Will that be the Bitcoin? Will that be the Ethereum? Will be that Ripple or Zcash or whatever it is? It doesn't really matter. It's too early to know that. Yes, I believe, I'm a big believer on the majors. There will be more and more and more interesting currencies to be involved with, which we are going to talk about, of course, on a weekly basis in the Traders Academy Club. And I think that this is a market to be involved with. The volatility is there, the opportunities are there, the risk-reward probabilities are there, and at the end of the day, investors and traders want volatility. We want something to move. If nothing is moving, it's very hard to make money. That's why it's so exciting, not because it's well, everyone dreams about being a millionaire of the next Bitcoin, right? But I think it's the wrong approach. I think it's much smarter to enjoy the volatility and the opportunities coming with it, and look for the next opportunities. In the Traders Academy Club, we are going to talk about it a lot this year, simply because myself and my traders and my partners got involved in the crypto market. We believe in that. Yes, there will be changes. Yes, it's going to be regulated this or other way around. There will be obligations, there will be limits, there will be laws, rules, and everything. And then that's good. But it's new, and that's the future. The bottom line. This or other way around. Huge companies like Amazon, Facebook, Google, and government will go and start to play this game inside, will create their own currencies. Welcome to the new economy. As simple as that. How it's going to be, who is going to be the main player out there in a few years, no one knows. Our life is now, not what's going to be in the future. IOTA is one of the interesting opportunities from my point of view. It has been ranging for a while between 4 to 3. Trading against the zero is great opportunity. Every time we get closer is good to look for buys. Break above the retest and we are going to buy again. I expect a great future for this one. Zcash is, from my point of view, another great opportunity. As a currency, every drop to come is a buy. I think we are going up, and we are going up big. Ethereum is one of my favorites, and the one let me just find it here on the platform. Where is my Ethereum? Here we go. Is one of the favorites, and many new currencies coming inside will rely on these technologies, and I think that it is one of the most interesting instruments. 1000 is critical zone, 800 is critical zone. Every time we get closer, I think it's one of the best instruments to be involved with, and it could get much higher. Now, one of the most common mistakes traders do is thinking that now it's expensive, we can't make money of that. Really? Expensive what? No one forcing you to buy 10 or 100 Ethereums or Bitcoins, right? You can buy half or 0.1. Everything is in terms of percentages. Then think about it. One Ethereum could be like 700 ripples, for example. So who said this is a wrong belief that something is cheap that's going to fly to the next 1000. It could happen, but it also could fail big time, because many currencies will turn to be like stocks, right? Not the next thing, not the next big thing. And it's a pretty serious mistake to think about what's cheap has bigger chances, what's stronger has bigger chances, and what's more reliable in terms of technology has bigger chances. Price doesn't mean nothing, and be careful of that, guys. So this is definitely one I believe on. Litecoin is definitely one I believe on. Where is that? Here we go. Litecoin, from my point of view, is a great opportunity to invest on these incoming years, because I think it's an amazing alternative to the Bitcoin. Of course, the Bitcoin, which many doubt about it. wish that the Bitcoin does this one for us. 1, some kind of triangle, 2, and boom, I expect it to go to new highs. And of course my favorite, which I am invested from 020, believe it or not here, and so do my Traders Academy Club traders, and I think that this one is going up. I'm talking about the Ripple, of course. It's not going to be straight, it will take time. Anything between 2 to 150 is a critical zone, it could play around that, and then I suspect we are going to new highs. This is a great solution, great technology, which I think on the future would be implemented, and accordingly the moves. And we have the Monero as well, another one I think could be the next one to reach 1000 on the longer view, so every drop could be a great buy opportunity. And I would suggest to try and trade pairs versus the Bitcoin. So Monero versus the Bitcoin, Ethereum versus the Bitcoin, which is where it is. Let me find it here, which I think is one of the great greatest opportunities. I myself invested right from here, a zone of 0.4. Now it's about 0.1 soon. I think every drop here is a buy opportunity, because new technologies will rely on faster things. Bitcoin, until it will find a new solution for faster transactions, will take time. The other coins have more chances to close the gap and go faster. One last tip I have for you here, guys, is never ever put money that you cannot allow yourself to lose into such investments, into such markets, into such opportunities. Only go with money you can allow yourself to risk. We are all excited. There is tons of excitement, tons of reasons to be excited. But in reality is we have no idea what we face yet. Yes, this is the future, no doubt. But how it will look like on the future, we don't know. There might be changes. So only play with money that you can allow yourself to lose. Enjoy the volatility, because it's here, it's happening, it's real. It's real, it's happening, and enjoy from it. And I invite you to join the Traders Academy Club and enjoy from all these moves together, the moves I've been talking about right now. And I would like to thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry I took like about 45 minutes from your time, but this is an annual forecast, so I just wanted to cover all the opportunities the way I see them. So I hope it's helpful for you. I hope to see you inside in the Traders Academy Club. I plan 2018 to be an amazing year, and there are some unbelievably amazing and powerful things to come to the community and the club. So I hope to see you inside Traders Academy Club. The link below the video. That's all. Thanks a lot for your time. I would be really, really, really thankful for you if you could leave your feedback, hit the like button. Let me know what do you think about this analysis and the 2018 years and yours great opportunities for the year. And once again, thank you for your time. I'm Vladimir Ribakov from Traders Academy Club, and I wish you a wonderful, successful, happy 2018 to you and yours. Thanks for your time. See you soon.